All right, my Patreon lovers. So it's January 3rd, and I felt like doing a touch-in for you specifically, collectively. We're gonna do. It's Wednesday today, so I am gonna just get a pulse on the week ahead, so we can look to next Wednesday, or if, when tarot and our lives, as it were, I really do kind of feel into that timelessness thing. So whenever we can stumble upon a message, it might be for us, and that's my intention. So this is for the Patreon, the Ultra TV Patreon community. Then anyone who stumbles upon it, it is January 3rd, and we're going to look at about a week timeline of energy. So right away, I'm looking at this Seven of Wands, and I'm getting that kind of touchy feeling, and I'm aware just through my client work and my own reflective world that energetically people are tired. They're, certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter time. Our bodies are needing, craving, wanting more rest. It can be hard to take that rest, and yet extra sleep, extra alone time might be warranted alongside just, cracking on with our daily routines. This can also be, for some of you, a sense of standing up for yourself after receiving a message. I'm again noticing the message being delivered, and or if it's you speaking a message, there could be some anger. There could be... I'm suddenly feeling, okay, I think this is the past energy here. I think this is something that's like maybe having a quick exchange with family members over the holidays, or a little bit of fiery action, a little bit of fiery communication that might have inspired, like, back off, or I need some time to myself. So rebalancing, justice reverse here, rebalancing these scales of justice, I would say, sweet, that 10 of Pentacles is poking through here. But the resolution is really taking that time and coming back into ourselves. It's really coming back into that. That's why we, cultivate or create some rituals, or cultivate certain routines that help us to feel connected and peaceful, whether it's taking a bath, whether it's meditating, napping, any number of things, right, that one can do to bring ourselves back into a greater state of peace or contentment. And certainly with the High Priestess here, a connection to our spirit, a connection to our sense of spiritual autonomy, and because she's holding a scroll, which is making me think of like containing the knowledge, containing holding it dear. And there's a stillness here too, among the beauty, a connection to the moon, a connection to the pillars of our world, right? So there is something in this about, well, let's get some clarity for the High Priestess here, in as far as, I'm just trying to keep that, because the white tends to reflect the light a bit. So what's the guidance for the High Priestess energy? Oh, okay. So some of you might be debating moving. The cat is trying to get into the cupboard. Talk about I'm new to having a cat properly, and like, they're so curious, aren't they? Anywho, so Four of Wands reverse would be like debating, thinking of a potential moving away from our home base, uprooting ourselves, right? This looks like taking a friend with us. High Priestess, though, is signaling hold space for this idea. Hold space for this action step. Again, things spoken could have triggered something, feeling either defensive or angry, going on anyway, there's just been that exchange that got a bit fired up, and then The High Priestess is signaling it's possibly around a move or someone in our world moving. And the High Priestess is really kind of holding the fort. No need to take action. It's just holding space for the idea and allowing that energy, if it disrupted or stirred stuff up or troubled anything, just to let that energy settle before making any kind of big decisive action. I think Mercury might just be stationing, or might just be starting to move direct. So even in that sort of astrological context, it can be just wise to not make any big decisions, certainly not while Mercury is retrograde. Let me double check. I think it's more than likely Mercury is actually going retrograde today, or yesterday it actually started to station and move forward. So you know, now we're hence holding the space. Okay, we can start to initiate possibly. But the High Priestess there is really kind of like, not until you know, not until it feels really secure, really clear. Seven of Swords, right? Possibly just waiting again for that communication, for that inspired liftoff, right? When movement happens in our lives, it happens, and we often have the energy for. We want those messages to lift us off, and if they're not doing that, then let the energy settle before making any kind of decision. So there's definitely an energy here of balancing, because the other card, well, there's a Two of Cups as well, but it's the scales and the balancing of the, like, of our energy, of our our personal and I guess interpersonal energies, like so, and then with the Justice there, so to me, this is like making sure that we ourselves are super balanced before taking a brand new leap into the unknown, right? Like the Eight of Wands, like the messages, like that kind of level of liftoff. We want that feeling of taking leap to be exciting. You know, regardless of, in a sense, what stage of life we're at, we want to be able to embolden ourselves, in a sense, to feel excited. Nervousness and excitement can be, or I think on some level, is the same emotion, or is the same, certainly neurochemistry or whatever. So it's all about perspective in that regard, and getting excited about making a move, taking a brand new start in our lives. But there again, we want to be balanced, because we're setting off on these new beginnings. It off kilter a bit. It can stumble us. It can kind of probably kind of like stumbling into this new beginning rather than consciously taking that leap. So I'm just going to take probably at least one more card from the Starseed Oracle deck. So yeah, these are energies really of reminders, right? Reminders. This is child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. And that kind of is in theme with some of those expressions of late with regards to intuition, that you know, following the intuition, we can dress it up in all niceties, but it's still going to offer us the challenges, the hardships, the what have you. And yet the way I interpreted it quite intuitively the other day was that following intuition will just offer us the profound lessons our soul is craving, versus staying in stagnant patterns that we kind of feel or realizing this isn't it, like this isn't it. And we'll get guided, right? Try this thing, do that thing, make a move, and all of that sense of guidance is part of honing our intuition. It's and learning those lessons we're meant to learn, because intuition is a very unique thing, often, right? So I guess just the more we share and talk about the ups and downs and the things we learn from relating more consciously on our path, that's, I guess, the reward, right? We evolve in a more expansive way and break free from patterns. That's, I think, relevant as well. Living intuitively allows us to really heal these karmic or ancestral patterns, to expand our lives, and I think in a holistic sense live in a healthier way. Whereas if we're just stuck in the mundane, or these patterns that we really aren't happy with, but we're too frightened to heed the call of the intuition, that's when those patterns stagnate, and some of the patterns can trigger and become worse, right? That was, again, my personal experience. The patterns will get worse until we're kind of forced to step out of them. Oh, be a leash, my kitty. My kitty. You're a kitty, and you're scratching my board. Oh, he's done a real job of it, too. I just noticed that. He's ripped up my little... He's ripped up my little... Look at... You've done a good old ripping there, haven't you, Belish? Haven't you, kitty? Haven't you? Oh! Oh, well. I'll leave you there, my lovers. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you all real soon. Happy New Year, especially to my amazing Patreon community. I'm so thankful for all of you. There's a weekly read. Let's kick off the year by just being super, super kind to yourself. That's been coming through a fair bit, like self-compassion. I'm observing that really our own harshest critic is almost always ourselves. And then these people can challenge our perspective and help us to hone that connection to spirit, that faith, that again, that divine spark that really, I think, is what allows us to be authentic, to heal ourselves, and ideally to move through life with as much grace and sort of conscious choice making as we can. Holla Shazam, my lovers! Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I'm sure I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Peace out.